Excuse me.
Your worship, if you can ask Councillor Taddeo to turn his camera on for this part.
Sure. Councillor Taddeo, can you turn your camera on, please?
I didn't see where he is. I found the bottom.
Oh. There's no great one.
Maybe.
You might have your privacy on your computer on.
I'd like to acknowledge that we and our guests are on Treaty 3 territory, home to Wabigoon Lake, Ojibwe Nation, as well as many other communities, including the Métis Nation. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. We also recognize contributions of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples have made both in shaping and strengthening our communities and province and our country as a whole. Welcome everyone, nice to see a big group out tonight. And welcome online as well. Call this meeting to order at 6:05, yeah, 6:06.
6:01.
6. Approval of the agenda.
That the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Ignace, this 23rd day of February 2026 approves the agenda as
Presented. Need a mover, please? Councillor Menier, seconder, Councillor Lett. All in favor? Pardon that.
You can raise his hand.
Sorry.
Your worship, if Councillor Taddeo can just give a verbal yes or no or something because his camera's not working.
Do you approve the agenda, Councillor Taddeo? Sorry?
he's muted, so mic's muted.
Jesus Christ.
You're good, Councillor. We can hear you.
Okay, you got me now?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Declaration of disqualifying interest pecuniary? None? Approval of the minutes of the most recent meeting. Motion, sorry.
That the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Ignace, this 23rd day of February 2026 approve the following minutes as presented. January 26, 2026 regular meeting, January 27, 2026 special meeting, February 2nd, 2026 emergency meeting, February 2nd, 2026 special meeting, February 9th, 2026 special meeting.
Need a mover. Councillor Taddeo, will you move?
Yes.
Thank you. Seconder? Councillor Lett. All in favor? In favor, Councillor Taddeo?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
Questions? No. Council direction from previous meetings, the parking lot. Questions?
I got a question on the parking lot.
Okay, go ahead.
I noticed on the parking lot for the forensic audit that it's gonna get completed in 2027. We won't even be in council in 2027. We asked for it 3 years ago. Is it gonna take that long to get completed?
Aaron?
Well, we are working diligently at this. That might be a mistake. It should have been 2026. So
Okay,
we'll make,
I can accept that, but 2027 is
yeah. I mean, we'll get them, just that specific one that was approved by council. I believe we can get that done
Okay,
by 2026.
okay, anything else? Anything else, Councillor Taddeo?
no, that's it.
Okay,
Change that.
delegation, Safe Grad 2026, Dana Gaines and John Sterling. Welcome. I would say welcome to the podium, but we didn't get back here. Sorry. Okay,
Thank you everyone for having us here and giving us a chance to speak on the grad's behalf. We are planning a grad trip for the grade 12 class to go flying fishing. We need to raise approximately $14,000 for the trip. That is including fees for the students, chaperones, and food. This is important to our class as a whole, because we are not able to go on or fundraise for our grade 7-8 Toronto trip due to COVID. Our class missed out on many opportunities because of COVID, and this is a way for us to have one last trip together as a class before we all go our separate ways in life, to make memories together on a substance-free trip. Our class has already done several fundraising events, including pierogies, spaghetti dinner, bottle drive, and shoveling snow. We have raised approximately $3,300 so far, and we have more fundraisers going on in the coming weeks. All of us students in grade 12 are working our hardest to put in work with the help of some of our parents to make this trip happen. It is completely separate from the school, making it harder for us to fundraise, but we are working our hardest to make the amount we need to people to go on and make memories with our class on this trip. We are here to ask for financial help for our trip, either through community funding or sponsorship, that help our graduating class have one last substance-free and safe trip before we all go our separate ways in life. Thank you so much for taking time to listen to our class as we try to work together and make this happen.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions, Counselor Taddeo?
He's
Muted again.
muted.
Anyone else? Yeah, Counselor Lynn.
Hi, can you tell me, how many people will be going on this trip?
So it'll be 12 students,
12
2
students.
chaperones.
Okay. And, what's the date of the trip?
The date is June 3rd to the 6th.
June
Third to the sixth.
3rd to the 6th. So when do you have to have your total funding? What's the payment due?
They didn't give us a payment due date, because if we don't raise the money, then we don't go.
Right. Okay, thank you.
I just wanted to also add that we're not a registered non-for-profit organization. We're a separate entity of the school, so we have a big challenge in raising funds. There's only so many things that we can do. We can't do 50/50s, we can't do raffles, we can't do like a variety of other things that other organizations can do. So we do have a few more fundraisers that we're looking at, but we're raising about $800 per fundraiser.
Brian Stefanik.
$3,579.70.
Okay, yeah,
Can I,
sorry.
Dana, can you not do it through the school lottery
It's not
license?
affiliated with the school.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
I was gonna ask, so when we're, just normally when there's a deputation, I have to bring back a report to council. I just wanted to know, so what's the timeline that you would like an answer from council? Because I think typically I would have to come back from council and then you guys would vote upon.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sure, would it be the next council then?
It would, that's why I was asking if we needed to do a special or if the next, like March.
No, we can, I
Second week in.
just won't be here in March,
Okay,
but I can do video.
March 9th.
Oh, I'll be here then, I can attend that.
okay.
Okay. Okay.
Do you need anything else from us? Like I have financial records. I have a history of our fundraising activities.
Just.
I mean-
Whoops, sorry,
No,
go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, unless there's other requirements from council that they would wanna see from that, it might be just straightforward, here's a motion. Let's move on it.
Okay. Your total ask is 14?
We didn't ask a total,
Okay.
we've raised,
Approximately,
yeah, we've raised,
but you have raised some funds.
yeah, just under, I have another $200, so
That's-
37.79.
Yeah. Okay.
So sorry. through the
Yeah,
mayor.
go ahead.
What we can do is we can, if it's, we'll give a couple options, but maybe like 14,000 a cap and then go from there.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
we appreciate it, thank
thank
you.
you.
I'm just gonna speak again. I still think the school can do it and they can't donate it to Safegrad.
We're not to be affiliated with the school.
Either way, you don't have to be affiliated with the school though. Oh, okay.
Councilman Mayor.
And irregardless of the situation, if for some reason you have a chaperone bow or you didn't have a chaperone.
Great.
Flying pigeons or?
Fly in, fly fishing.
Oh, and they need shopping.
Yeah,
I don't know whether you
we
need
need one male and one female. We
Yeah.
have two females that are interested, that's on parent, like one of the parents who care for
Sure.
her. We have one that's come forward, male, but another option for the kids, so I can bring it forward would be great.
Just throwing it out there.
And you would pay for yourself, Lynn?
I would probably pay for myself.
Yeah. Thank you,
All right.
Yeah. appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
So
John.
he'll, as Aaron said, he'll do a report to come back to council.
Okay, I'll be here on
Google, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, 6.2. Christina Van Drunen.
It's phonetic. Drunen.
Drunen.
Unless
Yeah.
unless you're my Dutch family and then we get fancy.
Center of Expertise.
Yes.
You-
Nice, sit in that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Normally we have a podium, but
I don't need a podium.
Just turn this down there because.
Yes, it's called.
Sit on it and then press it.
Sorry, now I'm being really high maintenance. Excellent. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. So good evening, Mayor and members of council. Thank you very much for the opportunity to provide a brief update on the Center of Expertise. We're going to go through progress to date, community engagement, the project site, and also what comes next. So on progress, the site for the Center of Expertise has been secured, as some of you may already be aware. And the NWMO now owns the land within the township, and I'll talk about that in a bit. Preliminary design is complete, and the project has moved into detailed design and the approvals that go with that. Construction is still targeted to begin in 2026, so this year, with the center expected to open in 2028. The center is envisioned as a single-story landmark facility that includes public learning and exhibit space, meeting and gathering areas, demonstration spaces, and workspaces for NWMO staff to support long-term activities in the region. From a governance perspective, the project remains aligned with NWMO's corporate milestones and oversight processes. So as you know, NWMO strives to ensure that the Center of Expertise is consistent with the community's vision and goals wherever possible. The design is informed by earlier community engagement and envisioning sessions that were held in 2022, where the residents and municipal leaders emphasized that the center should be welcoming and educational. It should reflect local and regional identity, support learning, training, and innovation, and feel like a place of belonging rather than simply a technical facility. In November last year, community members participated in multiple engagement sessions on the Center of Expertise. These sessions were intended to share updated design concepts, explain the planning and environmental work, and gather feedback to help refine the design. What we heard consistently included, first of all, very positive reactions to the overall aesthetic of the conceptual design that was presented. We heard interest in environmental protection and stewardship, questions about employment and skills development, and a strong desire for ongoing transparency and dialogue. Importantly, for us, the feedback did not raise any fundamental concerns with the direction of the project, but it did help shape priorities and refinement. That engagement is actively influencing the design decisions that we continue to make. Examples include how the gathering spaces are configured, how learning and exhibits areas function for different age groups, not just one, how Indigenous knowledge and cultural considerations are reflected, and which ideas are best suited to be housed within the center itself versus potentially elsewhere on the broader site or within the township, working of course with the township. NWMO is investing more than originally planned in the Center of Expertise. And we are prioritizing features that are important to the community. So that means it's an attractive landmark that draws visitors, encouraging learning and an understanding of the DGR project. It emphasizes large public-facing spaces for hosting education and expert organizations and visitors. And it also includes those workspaces to maximize the number of workers who can be accommodated on any given day, recognizing that much of the workforce will be cycling back and forth between the Ravel site and the NWMO offices over the life of the project. I want to emphasize that the objective of the Center of Expertise is to spark economic development and not replace, discourage, or compete with third-party businesses and investors. Now, turning to the property. NWMO acquired approximately 67-acre parcel located immediately west of where we are now, along by the municipal offices along Highway 17. Only a portion of that, approximately 7 to 10 acres, is required for the Center of Expertise itself. But the larger property provides us flexibility for siting and landscaping the center. Any future development beyond the center would occur only in discussion with the township through normal municipal planning processes and in alignment with Ignace's long-term growth objectives. So to conclude, I just want to outline some of the key milestones that are ahead so that we have a clear understanding of what comes next. This year is focused on completing the detailed design and working through municipal and regulatory approvals while continuing to reflect community and Indigenous input. Once the detailed design and bid package are finalized, NWMO will move into construction procurement, including issuing the procurement package and selecting the constructor. Subject to approvals and procurement, we will then incorporate input from the selected constructor to further refine the start and plan completion of the facility's construction. From there, the focus will be on the building, site works, and interior fit out for public, technical, and office spaces. And finally, following construction and commissioning, the Center of Expertise is expected to open in 2028 and begin operations. Throughout this period, NWMO will continue to work closely with the township, coordinate on planning and infrastructure matters, and communicate milestones as they are reached. So, in closing, I'm very pleased to say that the Center of Expertise is moving steadily from vision into implementation. The site is secured, the design is advancing, community input is shaping outcomes, and the project is aligned with a clear phased path to construction and its opening. We appreciate the continued partnership with council and the community, and we look forward to working together as the project moves into the next stage. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
So when you were talking about the area that has been purchased, the 67 acres.
Yes.
And yet the initial building will be only 7 to 10 acres. What other use do you anticipate the rest of the land?
So I would say that it's very premature to say that. Certainly the intent would be to be complementary to what the municipal development plans are. We've gotten a lot of insights and input through the early visioning work, for example, around leave it as is, all the way through to, here's a full suite of, lumberyard and skating rink and daycare. And so there's a huge spectrum of input that we've gotten so far. So what I would say right now is it's really premature to say which direction makes sense, but we would definitely have to be in conversations with townships. So it makes sense.
So daycares, things like that, would that be for NWMO use, like their employees?
No, so, no, so what I'm saying is that we haven't developed any plans for the rest of the site right now.
I'm just looking to see if you can, let us know what what that would look like if possible. And is this municipal used? Or is it going to be specifically for NWMO?
Oh, so it is not intended to, NWMO is not in the business of setting up a bunch of other businesses.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the easiest thing to say right now.
Okay.
We did have some really interesting internal dialogues, because if any of you participated in the information set or the feedback sessions, engagement sessions, there was a lot of input provided by different residents saying, oh, it could include this and this and this, and we started to put it into the design and then realized that what we were inadvertently doing was building a building that would actually compete with a lot of the services and facilities and amenities in town. And so instead of complementing the township's development plans, it actually started to compete with it. And so it actually didn't make a lot of sense. So that's where through this the design phase, we've been systematically pulling out those pieces and making sure that it really focuses on what will be the unique contributions of the Center of Expertise to, well, within the township. So we've really been kind of focusing down on what should NWMO's role be versus what might be done by a third party investor, for example, through the development plans.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Councilor Menier, do you have any?
I don't know what to say. I guess, I'll just sort of recap what you're saying. NWMO purchased a large parcel of land, even though they don't really require it at that time. But with the future expansion, that extra property is available for NWMO to do any expansions that they want. It's not gonna be, I'll just say it this way, it's not gonna be open to the public, it's gonna be still private land owned by NWMO. There may be some development that may go towards the public's opinion, but realistically, if NWMO wants to expand on that property, it will expand their future. I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say that it's not gonna be a case of, so the public doesn't think that, oh, you built the Center of Excellence, now this extra land, you want something else on it. Because you are the landlord, not the government, not the municipal.
That's right.
council.
Right, so it is, at this time, it's NWMO property, and this time we haven't created solid plans of any other sort.
That's fair.
Probably the best I can say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Councilor Taddeo, do you have anything? At least you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was just trying to, I'm having a hard time actually hearing what's going on there, but the building itself is going to take up 6 or 7 acres, you said, ma'am?
7 to 10, if you include the parking lots and the landscaping around it.
So the other 57 acres, you're obviously going to be the landlord. And are you planning to put in any parks or rest stops or anything to beautify the rest of the acreage?
So at this time, what I can say is that we've gotten a lot of input on different ideas for that early visioning work, but nothing's been decided or planned out yet.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the update. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Bye, Christine. Got dropped off.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Legislative matters. I'm gonna pull 7.2.5 and 7.2.6. Any others? Council?
That the council for the corporation of the township of Ignace does hereby approve the consent agenda for this regular meeting of council this 23rd day of February 2026. and all directions and or recommendations or motions included herein.
Okay, oh, mover, sorry, Counselor Manier, seconder, Counselor Net, all in favor?
Wait, now you need to, like, give fully minutes to, or
Right.
any other.
No, yeah. Do you have anything to
Just
say?
those two.
Okay, so 7.2.5 is the RCIP pilot for we had spoke about this, and it's for
Federation College and Noma.
but for I'm lost for words, I'm sorry. For the programs.
Oh, the immigration.
Integration.
The immigration.
Sorry, I couldn't get that word out there. And I see that, a lot of the Northwest municipalities has supported this. So I just want to make sure that we are in agreement to the letter that we sent to support this initiative. Council, we already, it's in the package, ours. Supported? Counselor Tadio, would you support that resolution?
Yes.
Thank you. All in favor, thank you. 7.2.6 is the Bell Fiber. I think Bell needs to step up to the plate and upgrade their infrastructure to the fiber, and I think we should support the resolution to support the municipality of Magneton. Council?
Yes.
Hey, Councilor Tadio, do you support that?
Yes.
Thank you. All in favor of those two to support? Carrie. Councilor Tadio, you support it?
Yes.
Thank you. 8, administrative matters. 8.1.1, Ignace Fire Department report to council. Any questions, concerns on that? Sometimes I've seen a lot of their reports that has a lot of calls and activity on there, and it was a little slowed down for them. No other questions? No? Okay. 8.1.2 Public Works report. So reading this report, it just seemed like it was all for springtime.
So, well, Dwayne's online. For clarification, you're inquiring like what, like, this is what we're planning to do in the spring versus what we've done already?
Yeah,
Well, I think Dwayne could probably provide a verbal report on that.
okay.
What was that?
Hi, Dwayne. Through the mayor, they're looking for a verbal report, just some of the activities that you've undertaken since you've last reported. It'll probably have been November or October.
Just to clarify it, baseball fields. Well, obviously, we're not doing that now, but I'm thinking that some of these things were from the fall.
Yeah, so
Like and the cemetery, you know, like, I guess some of this is just preparing for the spring.
Yeah, the report was mainly for, some of it was done for the winter, like, the street lighting, what we have completed so far.
Okay.
And looking forward to what's gonna be done, come spring.
Yes, Councillor Young.
So perhaps I would recommend it, the issue and the purpose says Public Works monthly report to council. So perhaps it should say quarterly report.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, just for the mayor too, like a lot of the activities that Public Work undertakes, during most of the activities, is just removing snow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's sort of not a really exciting tidbit of information to bring to council. So what he's done here, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dwayne, that he's just highlighting some of the stuff that we're planning come spring.
Okay, good done. Thank you. Moving on, 8.1.3 Roma Conference Report. Councillor Tadio, would you like to speak to that?
Well, I mean, what can I say? It was, I think we did a great job there. We ended up securing about $4.8 million there last week. What do you think?
Yes. Yeah.
I think we picked up. We had a busy 2 days there, running up and down a couple of blocks every morning. Aaron, we met with 6 ministers. They heard us loud and clear of the project that's coming on here. We invited every one of them to come for the opening there when they make the big announcement here. When is that, in March? I can't remember exactly what day.
It might be later on. I think we're still really defining what date that is.
Okay, but and if I recall, Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong or not, but we got commitments from each minister that they're going to come, correct? Them or their aid?
They specified that they would come, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we were there. We were there for 2 days, and it was a pretty busy day, but it paid off by I think we did a real good job and secured like I say, went $4.8 million, and hopefully more coming.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
If I may add,
And I also understand that you secured a couple other meetings when you were down there with ministers.
Yeah, actually we did. We joined forces with other communities, which was a great thing to do, I think, because they heard all smaller communities the same size Ignace have the same problems that we have. And we actually secured a couple extra meetings with ministers actually Jake did a great job, because I think Jake knows half of Toronto there, because he ended up connecting with some of their aides and got us in with some more meetings.
That's great. Thank you.
if I might just add to that too, it's incredible how much Jake knows. One of the ministers, I can't, his name has escaped me. But Smith, is it Smith?
I think it is Smith.
Or McCarthy? I'm looking at him right now. Anyways, he was the last minute. So we were actually walking down the road, and all of a sudden we turn around and we're like, where's Jake? And he's there talking to another guy.
Yeah.
And we're like, holy geez, I just want to go for food. But turns around, he's like, hey, I just got us a meeting with the Minister of Environment and Infrastructure. We're meeting him tomorrow. This was not part of our delegation. It was just somebody that he knew that, well, he happens to be the minister that is in charge of providing us. Well, that in Rickford was also instrumental in this, but Mr. McCarthy was the minister who controls the levers in return and with regards to infrastructure. So I think having, especially with regards to delegations, I think having Jake as part of that delegation is critical.
Yes. Okay.
So I'll probably bring that up. Well, we've already
coming.
Okay. So.
And just one other thing too, I just want to bring up too, Aaron, you can testify to this too. Every minister that we talked to and told them that we ended up with Bruno's Contracting to help us out with this new development, they were quite supportive with Bruno's Contracting.
Good news.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any other? No? Yes?
I just want to
No,
say
Mayor?
good job on everybody that went down to the Roma conference, and obviously this points a positive, it gives us a positive feedback for future endeavors to attend these meetings, so to reach out and talk to ministers and the assistants.
If I may,
Okay,
one
yes.
more time.
Yeah.
I just want to announce that there's more announcements to come. We can't announce them right now, but there's more to come.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
stay tuned.
Great news. Thank you. 8.1.4 surplus properties update.
Can I speak to this?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to speak to this. I read this a couple of times, and it really, I know we've been beating this around to death here for the last couple of months, and actually, I'm kind of surprised that these letters haven't gone out yet. I just don't understand why they haven't gone up. What really bothers me the most is, and I hope we can get a legal opinion, and I'd like to speak to our solicitors about this. The people that are that signed this contract and haven't filled their obligation in this contract, I believe that the township has the right to take these properties back, and we should move forward with that immediately. We shouldn't be granting them more time. I think we should be moving forward with that and getting those properties back and re-advertising them and try to resell them at the value of what they're worth there today. I just think that a contract's a contract, and if they don't abide by them, we should immediately enforce that contract and get our property back.
Okay. Any other comments? Councillor Lett.
One of the concerns I had was sort of on a same line, but what happens if the same person or persons purchase new properties and do the same thing, like sit on the properties or a number of years, breach the contract, and then it costs the township to chase after it, basically. Yes, go
I
ahead.
may speak to that through the mayor. All of the surplus property sales have to be approved by council. So then council would know if somebody hasn't developed in the past when they're considering the application to purchase a new or expression of interest to purchase a new property.
So it would be flagged.
You
before
could say
it goes to
no.
council?
Yeah.
So you would say this person has put in this bid, but unfortunately they haven't entered into breach of contract. Perfect. Okay.
Can I speak one more time there, Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
I just want everybody to realize and to understand that the people that purchased this property 3-4 years ago got it at a reduced rate of 90% cheaper than what they were supposed to be paying for it. Their obligation was to have something in place in 2 years after they purchased it, and that hasn't happened. So I think it's we've given them enough time, and it's time to move forward and follow the contract and regain those properties back to the township and sell them at market value, what they're worth.
Thank you. Okay, what does council want to do? Do you want to get a legal opinion on this, or what are we doing?
I think we should.
Keith?
Through the mayor, just one quick comment. Now, as most of these agreements do have a 2-year construction period, there is also a 15-year window that we can exercise our right to bring it back. I feel it's fair that we give one opportunity for them to come back with a plan, and that just to avoid a legal costing model that we would have to incur.
So my question to you now is, you've given them 2 years, why are we gonna give them 15?
Not
We give
15,
you more than
we're
2
working
years.
towards- Oh, sorry, Counselor. We are going to work with them to give them 6 months to bring us a development plan with details on what they're going to put on.
6 months.
6 months, that's one of the
Yeah.
options, as what's noted on the letter. The other option is one, they can refuse and say, okay, we would like, I'm just gonna give it back to the township. And the
Okay,
other option is we work with them in tandem to sell the property to a third party, which that person who takes over the property is still bound by that contract with a 6-month window for a development plan.
Through the mayor?
Okay, so just a minute, Councillor Tario. Why haven't these been sent out? I have that same question
Yes.
as Councillor Tario did, because we talked about this a month ago.
So each property has a unique, somewhat unique agreement, and we have to verify that the language in those contracts fit each person. So we have to verify the contents of those agreements to make sure that we're sending out the correct information to each property owner.
Have
And
any of them been sent out?
we have sent out one thus far, and this person has been in contact with me, and a development agreement is coming shortly. This person, I can't speak too much to it right now, but this person is going to be supplying me with a concrete development plan, and hopefully that the installation of unit will be completed by the end of September.
Okay, Councillor Tario?
Yeah, through the mayor again, like I said before, we sold this property at a 90% reduction on what it was worth, right? We gave them 2 years to get something done. Nothing has been done. It seems to me that everybody's speculating that something was going to happen, and something did happen. And I think that we get a legal opinion on it. And if we get these properties back, we should take them back and sell them at what they're worth.
Thank you, Councillor.
Is it possible at this point to reduce it from 6 months to 3 months? Because I say that because it's all the taxpayers that are losing out on the taxes that could be collected on those properties.
Through the mayor, to the best of my knowledge, that the property owners are paying their property taxes. I can't confirm, so they are paying property taxes on the vacant lots.
But not on.
That's not what.
But we can recommend a 3 month, absolutely.
I would definitely go for it. I think, an additional 6 months is a little bit of overkill, considering that they apparently showed no interest in developing.
In the last year.
And then we have to spend the time and the finances from the staff to make that happen again. So we're losing out so many different ways.
Yes.
In agreement with that one. I just feel that it's really important that the township does make this one last attempt to negotiate with the property owners before we exercise our rights to bring the property back. And it could alleviate costing through our law firms.
Yeah, just to really hammer down on what Keith said, I think ultimately we want a structure on there that's gonna appreciate value, and we're gonna tax it. That's the whole meaning behind this community improvement plan.
Yeah.
So if we can, it's 3 months, I think is reasonable, because then we can extend that they actually have substantial completion by the end of the year. If they can do that, I think we're in a better position where we're, they're late, but they're still living up to their contractual obligations. I think in the short term, if they can fulfill that, courts like a progressive. If you go from 1 to nuclear, the judge is not gonna like that very much, and he might vote against that, but also it's gonna cost money and time, as we know, where we would finally get that property if they wanna fight it next year, and then we have to find another suitable person with another 2-year contract. So we're talking 2028 before they're actually getting a structure on there. So I think giving looking out for what, like, short term, it's risky, but giving them an opportunity moving forward might be beneficial financially if they fulfill it, but also moving forward, if we need to vest that property back, that it's going to show that we've exhausted every other option before going to the final step.
Okay. Councilor Menier.
Your worship, I'm wondering, maybe this might be something that can be done for the future sales of any properties that the township releases to tax sales. I'm wondering, instead of, and I don't know the exact wording that these, property owners purchased under in regards to construction or plans to develop, et cetera. But I'm wondering, maybe, there should be looked at and revamped to the point where if a property sale was made through a tax purchase, and that rather than have given time to develop a plan, et cetera, tell them that they have actually put in the actual bill of sale saying that structure has to be completed within 2 years. So I mean, start shoveling the ground from the time of purchase,
Okay.
rather than sell it and then to once.
So through the mayor, so that answer will be done in, to follow up with your question is 8.2.8. But what you're really referring to, Councillor, is, just have to correct you a little bit, is surplus properties. Tax sale is a different situation.
All right, well.
Yeah, because tax sale is very regulated by. Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not familiar with the
No, no
wording
problem.
for the properties that were sold, et cetera. But I mean, we are questioning now people that haven't done anything to advance their goal, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So rather than sell property on a whim or allow people to pick up property on a whim, but stipulate that they have to go shovel in the ground as soon as they get it and start. It's not, that way then we will see progress.
Okay, so,
Through the mayor.
yes, Councillor Tayo.
I can't even believe we're batting this. We're even talking about this. We have an obligation to the taxpayers, right? To make sure that sorry?
Yeah, go ahead.
We signed a contract between the property owner and the township 2, 3, 4 years ago. Some of these people has already went over 2 years of their purchase of the property. Some of them are into their 4th year. We signed an agreement that they would have something built in there after 2 years. We gave them the property at a 90% discount, right? And now we're going to go back to them. Like, what's the use of having a contract? Why don't we get a legal opinion on it and see if we can get these properties back? Because there's going to be other people that are going to be paying us more money than what these properties are worth that these other people have paid for. They bought them at 90% reduction because most of them figured there was going to be some kind of impact on the community, that the property value was going to rise a lot higher than what they bought them at. So, like, I don't understand the way of thinking here. Like, they haven't filled their obligation. Let's just move forward and fulfill the contract that they've signed.
Okay, thank you. What does council want to do?
I would like to reduce it to 3 months plus get legal advice.
Councilor Manier? I want to have it reduced 3 months and legal advice?
I think getting a legal advice would be the best route. They have had it's like how many times you have to go and tell them that they have to do something like that, or how many times do you have to get them to pay the taxes, et cetera, et cetera. There has to be a line drawn in the sand, and I think I agree with what Aaron had to say about maybe you might be able to get it solved rather than hitting it hard with a hammer. You might be able to just tap it with a small hammer rather than a big hammer to get things moving. But if these property owners know that the council is now serious and wants to address this ASAP, then if we got a legal opinion saying whether or not it would be best for the council to start proceedings to take the property away, that might expedite any future plans for that property by the current owner.
Yeah.
So I would say
Legal advice?
legal advice, and hopefully we'll start it off sooner than later.
Okay, Counselor Tadio, legal advice?
That's what I've been asking for, yep.
Thank you, thank you. Council's in agreement to that? Carried? Okay, and that's what we do. Thank you. Okay, 8.2.1 library board trustee appointment, they have, to fill one vacancies.
That council for the Township of Ignace appoint Hope Peters to the Ignace Public Library Board as a trustee for the balance of the municipal council term, which ends November 14th, 2026.
I need a mover, please. Counselor Tadio, will you move?
Yes,
Counselor Manier, second. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay. 8.2.2 library financial services agreement.
That council receives the report titled Library Financial Services Agreement Expiry and Direction, and that council directs administration to proceed with option number.
Okay, now I want you to speak on this, please. Okay.
Through the mayor as the treasurer, the library is bound under the Public Libraries Act to have their own bank account, their own board of directors. And the reason that that's set up is to create separation between politics and access to information. You can see what's happening down south right now. Because it's separate, the library still has their own bank account, but it's not being used. The township's paying all the bills. What I recommend as the treasurer is that the library submits their request for their annual budget. The township gives the library board that money, and then all of those expenses are paid through the library's account, their own books, their own audit, which they still do. On a flat rate for rent, utilities all included, so that they can budget for the year, knowing exactly how much it will be per month, and then we don't have to worry about dividing up the utility bills and stuff to get information to them. They know exactly how much it is per month to operate. We could still have the township employees providing the service, the bookkeeping service. We would roll that all in so that we give you the money to do that to the library, and then the library pays a service fee back to the town. That way, if at any point the library board opts not to have the town do it and to hire a separate bookkeeper or to have a member of their own staff do it, then it would all be included already in their operating budget, which they request from the town. It keeps that separation. Then the library bills are being paid from the library account from their own checks. It could still be town staff administering that, but it's not through the town coffer.
Okay.
We need that separation of how it's administered.
Okay, so are we talking a yearly?
Amount? A yearly what?
Yeah, like it would be done
It could be,
yearly.
yes, it could be either a set amount at the start of the year or a monthly
Okay,
transfer.
so let me get this right. We know things go up, right? Yeah, hydro and all that. So is that gonna be adjusted every year for them?
It should be, yes.
Okay. Okay. Questions?
From the way Sterling has described it, I'm agreeing with giving the library board their own budget. We write them a check or give them a budget of X number of dollars and to cover, and they can cover their costs through their board. And obviously at the end, what I would recommend at the end of the year is a surplus. And we claw it back to the town. But other than that, I agree. I think the library board in the better position to know what they want to spend on and how many employees they want to have, et cetera. I don't know how the whole board works, but I can't see us, I would not want council or municipality to run the library. I think they should have their own separate entity.
It is.
It is now. But I think we should continue.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah,
Yeah. But in regards to giving the check, have them present a budget and say, this is what we need. Start of the year, end of the year, whatever, however it has to work.
So just for clarification, what the closest one then, what I would recommend is the option 2 to continue services with cost recovery, where we actually negotiate that new financial services agreement with the library board.
I have a question.
yeah.
There's nothing in here saying anything about this room. Does this room belong to the library? Does it belong to the township? I know obviously we use it, but there's nothing in this agreement or it's not mentioned. Does it have to be?
The whole building belongs to the township.
I know that, but does this room belong to the library? Or? Because that's been a question before.
Through the mayor,
Yes, Counselor Tardio.
I mean, you've been around here a long time too, as a counselor, and that municipal room there that you're sitting in right now belongs to the library.
So I'm just saying, it hasn't been mentioned in this agreement. I totally agree with the agreement, but. What are we gonna see when that comes out?
So can I give you a little bit of history on what through the library here? Maybe Kim, Mary, you can give them the Township of Ignace does control their budget. They're the ones that give them the money to operate, and we give them. Sorry?
No, I'm agreeing with you, yes.
We give them the money to operate. We decide on how much money they're going to get to operate. Not the library board. It's the council that gives them the amount of money that they're going to operate. The reason that I recall, the reason that they asked, the reason that the council at the of the day, correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor Bakery, because I think you were on, that we took over their books was just to help them out. So they could wouldn't have to spend that extra money on bookkeeping, correct?
That's many years ago, but
2016.
yeah.
But we do control, it's the township council that controls their budget. We're the ones that tell them every year how much they're going to get to operate.
I think they probably give it to us.
And
Sorry?
They give us, they give a report to us to tell us what they need for a budget. Aaron.
Yeah, the library act prescribes that library provides what the exact word is, like escapes me, but they essentially give a draft or what they propose to be their budget, but ultimately council gives the last authority of what that is. So maybe there's a negotiation at the beginning of the year before there's a passing or whatever.
There usually is there, Aaron, there's been numerous fights over the library board over the years on Ignace, over their budget.
But yeah, through the mayor, I think Leslie's right.
Yeah.
The Library Act is quite clear. Now, there are other agreements for financial services throughout other municipalities, but it is quite clear that the library is to have their own bank account. In the previous agreement, it says that they are not to have one. You can't. It's legal.
Okay.
And secondly, that the reason why that is divided is exactly what Leslie said, is because in the States, we're seeing an encroachment of politics into how and what people can and can't learn, which obviously, at least for myself, I wouldn't want to make that political.
Okay, so which one did you say?
option 2, so that we negotiate a new agreement.
Okay,
So during the community negotiations, can we rent or agree to have this building for our use, like $1 a year or something like that?
That could be.
Yeah, well, either way, it's coming out of the township budget,
Mhm.
and then whatever the rental agreement is rolling back into the township budget. However, if the library decides to move or if the building sells or whatever, it's all already operating the way it should be and reflecting the true costs of operating the library as a business in their reports to the ministry.
Yeah.
Okay,
And the other thing is the cost of providing the service. Right now, we're still paying for a bookkeeper, so we're saving the library money, which just means we're saving it for being requested out of ours, so it still takes the person power to
Oh, yeah.
provide that
Totally agree
service,
with that.
so. Well, if we still can provide it, we will, and if in the future we get too busy with township accounting that we need to hire another person, that would cover that.
okay.
So, the way it's worded then would be that council receives the report titled Library Financial Services Agreement Expiry and Direction, and that council directs administration to proceed with option number 2, negotiate a new agreement.
Need a mover, please? Councilor Manier, seconder. Councilor Lamb. All in favor, you in favor of that, Councilor Taddeo?
Yep.
Carried. 8.2.3 municipal driveway windrow clearing.
That council accepts the municipal driveway windrow clearing report as presented and directs the administration to proceed with option number.
Discussion.
Can I speak to
Councilor
this?
Taddeo?
Oh, can I speak to this?
Absolutely, it's yours.
Oh, it's mine, eh? Well, that report that I read there, you must throw that in the garbage because I did a little bit of investigational work. I just want to let you guys just to clarify this. It's we made the national news here in 2021 here. CBC, we made the national news here. Ignace, Ontario gets new snow gate to stop plowing from filling in your driveway. They did it. They came down and they did a documentary on the township and the grader, and it made the news that we were plowing out the driveways for seniors, which I like to see it come back. Here's the municipal grader in Ignace, Ontario is now outfitted with this. It's called the snow gate, okay, which keeps the snow withdrawals from being built up at the end of the driveway. And then in this report, this snow gate costed the township $15,000 for the Volvo grader that we own. Plus, it says here we've had it out and tested it in a couple of times. And I think Katrina Taylor at the time was working for the township of Ignace. She said they also bought another snow gate for the loader. Anyways, with that said, I phoned 4 or 5 different communities, the same size as Ignace, and I was really surprised on the public works people they have working there compared to the public works people that we have working here. So once I did that investigational work, and I'm scratching my head there thinking, wow, with our people, that we have actually more people working for us than other communities, and we don't have enough manpower hours to do this. Then I did some more investigational work, and because back in my history of where I used to do before.
Councilor Taddeo,
What?
can we speak on the issue?
I will. That's Councilor Manier's. He's always got to cut me off at least once or twice a meeting here. So, anyways, yeah, I'm going to get to that. I got a hold of my past career. I used to deal with kind of this stuff a lot. I'm really passionate when it comes to senior citizens in our community, and I like to get it done. Anyways, I got a hold of Strongco, the people that installed this snow gate on our Volvo loader or grader.
Okay.
Let me finish here because we just got in a report saying that it's going to cost the community $375,000 to get this back on board again. I got a hold of the Strongco today, which I dealt with for many years, and they told me today that they were actually surprised that we're not using that snow gate. They said to me that they can get us a new snow gate if we needed one. He said, but why would you spend the money when the old snow gate would work perfectly? And on top of that, he also told me that somebody did from the township phoned him and asked him for a quote to fix the old one and never did come back and get the purchase price of what that snow gate was gonna cost to fix. But this gentleman that I was talking to today said he's going through Ignace on Wednesday or Thursday, and he said he would stop into the township and take a look at the snow gate, and he said we can fix it up and get it going.
Hey, Aaron,
Before Dwayne, I give Dwayne an opportunity to speak on it, I would like to say a couple of things first.
okay,
So first, I don't know who Katrina is, but I doubt has any experience in public works or machinery or engineering or any of that matter, so I don't even know when it was brought up. Secondly, we have an operation, right, that involves a snowplow truck and a grader. So they do, and I'll let Dwayne speak to that. But the extra money involves time for machines to go out there. So we're gonna have a snowplow truck go out there, clean the roads, and then we're gonna have another machine go in behind and put hours on it, right? To clean up driveways. Now, this is something that we can do. I'm not opposed to this, right?
We're not,
But
you're not, you,
excuse me, I'm speaking at the moment.
Councillor Tenio.
Right, but when you use a machine, it ranks up hours, right? And a machine can only use so many hours before it's no good, or you're spending exuberant amount of money to replace it, right? So when you're racking up hours on a machine, that is money. That when I was in construction, I priced jobs, heavy equipment within 2% of the market value, winning contracts. I brought a company from the red to the black, successful. I can bring them in front of you guys to speak to this about my experience, right? So when you use machines, it costs money. Now, whether you buy a new machine specifically for this, or you use an old machine, right? It's not just the gate, it's the hours on the machine. You start using it for this, it costs money. That means that and rather than this machine lasting 10 years, you're using it twice as much, it's gonna last 5 years. And we can do this, but when it comes time for 5 years from now, when I'm asking to buy a new loader, I don't wanna hear that why do we have to buy a new loader? We just got one 5 years ago, right? We are at a $2 million deficit that soon enough is gonna come to council, and we gotta figure out what to do with that. That does not include the infrastructure deficit that we have. That's probably another $1.5 million, right? So I think before we start adding new services, we should at least pay for the ones that we are not paying for now, right?
Okay,
So,
are you good?
yes,
Thank you.
and if Dwayne wants to,
I'll just give a little brief there of what the equipment does. The grader we have up in the trailer park is where he starts, and then he runs down and does the school areas to get those open. And the plow truck is down by the mine houses, Balsam area, West Beach, Lake Shore, all that stuff. And we also have the loader with the plow on it, which comes and does the parking lots, the crescents, and stuff like that. And on a normal day, it usually takes us a day to clean everything up once we get a storm. And then if we have the manpower, send the sidewalk machine out and get that cleaned up. And I wasn't here before, but talking to Trent, our mechanic, about the snow gate, and he said it breaks and it does a lot of damage to our grader. Our grader is not equipped for that snow gate. He said if we had a smaller one, it probably would have worked out better.
Okay,
Smaller.
Thank you.
Snow gate?
no smaller grader.
Smaller grader or smaller snow gate, Dwayne?
A smaller snow grate.
Thank you.
Okay.
can I ask a question here?
Can I just make a comment first, please?
Yep,
Okay,
can-
so I think it's fair to say that I have seen when they have in the past cleaned up the streets and there has been great big piles, I have seen that the township does clear some of those driveways, push. I have seen that in the past. And another issue, just listening to that, why are we holding on to that snow gate then if it's too big? It should be sold then. Should be surplus and sold. It's profit one.
so can I speak?
Council patio.
Okay, so the gate, when they purchased this gate, it cost $15,000. Okay. That's what the township paid for. It was $15,000. The operator of the grader flips the switch and the gate lowers when it's going in front of the driveways. Once it passed the entrances, the gate comes up and pushes the snow to the side of the road. We made the national news here by purchasing this snow gate here, and every other community, once we purchased it, every other community pretty well went on board on purchasing one. Just let me finish here. So what I'm suggesting here is it's why don't we let the professionals deal with it? Because obviously we don't have professionals down at that garage that know what they're doing and how to get that thing working, and let somebody look at it to see if it can work.
Take that, excuse me, Councillor Taddeo, I want you to take that comment back.
No, I'm not taking it back. We don't have the professionals there on how that gate works.
Okay,
He's degrading that play.
Okay,
That's a code of
that's
conduct.
enough.
That's a code of conduct problem.
It's a code of conduct.
No,
That's
whatever. You guys, whatever code of conduct. You can go to the interior
Okay,
commission, wherever the hell you want.
He should be no more for conversation. He should only have 5 minutes. Each
Yes,
should
I
only
know.
have 5 minutes to talk.
I know, I was just gonna say,
No,
that's enough. Okay, what does council wanna do? We have the report,
Read the resolution.
yeah, okay.
That council accepts the municipal driveway windrow clearing report as presented and directs the administration to proceed with option number. So the options are number 1, which is recommended to maintain the current practice of no municipal driveway windrow clearing. Number 2, full service, that council approve the required capital purchase of equipment and the addition of staffing necessary to deliver the service, and then the municipal operating levy be increased 8% to fund the ongoing cost of the program. Or option 3, municipal clearing only during major road scraping and widening operations approximately 4 times per year. That council direct administration to remove driveway windrows only during scheduled major road scraping or widening operations, estimated at approximately 4 times per winter season, and that council approve the required capital purchase of equipment and partial operational funding necessary to deliver the limited program, and that the municipal operating levy be increased 3% to cover expenses for operation.
What does council want?
Say
Councilman Nair.
option number 1.
Option 1 for me, please.
Option 1 for you? What option would you like, Councillor Taddeo?
I like to see the professional people that know all about that gate go down there, take a look at it, and tell us if we can operate that gate or not.
We're voting on option 1.
So we will vote on the wording that council accepts the municipal driveway windrow clearing report as presented and directs the administration to proceed with option 1. That council confirm that driveway windrow clearing is not a municipal service and remains the responsibility of property owners. And that administration continue to focus winter maintenance resources on core roadway and infrastructure operations.
Mover, please. Councilor Nair, seconder, Councilor Lett. All in favor? In favor, Councilor Taddeo?
Nope.
Thank you. Eight point 2.4. Nuclear Youth Symposium findings to be presented from John. You're up again.
Good evening, your worship, members of council. My name is John Sterling, and I am a grade 12 student in English. Mr. Pastore asked me to present his report about the Nuclear Use Symposium findings to council and be available to answer questions, as he is not available to attend the meeting tonight. First, on behalf of all the students who attended the symposium, I would like to thank the Township of Ignis for sponsoring and coordinating this event in November. We had about 85 students from Ignis, Pickle Lake, and Dryden High School / Wabagoon Lake Ojibwe Nation attend the 3-day event to learn more about career opportunities in the nuclear industry. And about 60% would consider pursuing a career related to the DGR project. At the end of the event, Mr. Pastore and Mr. Ponca from NWMO led a session with small groups of local students to find out what we were planning for careers, how many people were planning to stay in Ignis or would consider moving back after college or university, and what we wanted to see in Ignis in the future. These findings are listed in the report Mr. Pastore submitted in the meeting package. Overall, we want more services, stores, restaurants, hair salons, entertainment, and healthcare to make it more worthwhile staying in town or moving back. But we realize this will take in entrepreneurs and workers. We hope council will invest in the economic development to bring these services and more people to Ignis. Finally, the high school students pointed out several projects that we would like to see council work on in the next few years. Better streetlights, fixing the drug problem in town, more affordable housing, better access to medical care, increase in population, enhanced roads and snow cleaning, enhanced high school amenities. And if I can take a moment to comment on behalf of the school, one thing we really need is a community bus to transport student athletes to games and competitions. Finally, we see the need for enhanced safety measures on the highway. Once again, thank you for hosting this event and hearing the concerns of local teenagers. If you have any questions, I hope I can answer them. Thank you.
Any questions? That was great. Good job. Any questions? Good job. Good points there too.
That council for the Township of Ignace accepts the report from the Community Engagement Committee and thanks the youth of Ignace for attending the Nuclear Youth Symposium and providing strategic advice to council. And further, that council takes into consideration the findings of this report during future strategic planning for the township.
Mover Councillor Taddeo, will you move it?
Yes.
Seconder, Councillor Minier. All in favor? Carried. 8.2.5 on procurement of regulation hockey nets.
That council authorize administration to procure 2 Regulation Ontario Hockey League OHL specification hockey nets at a total cost of $3,146. And that council accept the confirmed sponsorship contribution in the amount of $1,500 toward the purchase. And that the remaining net cost of $1,646 be funded from the arena operating budget or applicable recreation reserve as determined by administration.
Need a mover, please. Councillor Minier, seconder, Councillor Led. All in favor? You in favor, Councillor Taddeo?
Yes.
Thank you. 8.2.6 authorization to proceed with building bylaw update and building permit fee review.
Whereas the Township of Ignace's current building bylaw and permit fee structure require review to ensure continued compliance with the Building Code Act 1992, the Ontario Building Code, and evolving municipal best practices. And whereas under Section 7 of the Building Code Act, municipalities are required to ensure that building permit fees are structured to recover the reasonable costs associated with the administration and enforcement of the Act, and that fees are supported by appropriate financial analysis. And whereas municipalities are expected to maintain clear governance documents, including a current building bylaw and code of conduct for building officials. And whereas the township has received a detailed proposal dated January 30th, 2026 from RSM Building Consultants, a firm with extensive experience providing chief building official services and conducting building bylaw and fee reviews for Ontario municipalities. Therefore, be it resolved that council for the Township of Ignace authorize staff to retain RSM Building Consultants to complete the building bylaw and code of conduct review and the building permit fee review as outlined in the proposal dated January 30th, 2026.
Need a mover, please. Councillor Mayor, seconder, Councillor Led. All in favor? In favor, Councillor Taddeo?
Yes.
Thank you. 8.2.7 authorization to recruit NWMO project lead.
That council authorize administration to proceed with recruitment of the NWMO project lead position to manage the township's NWMO portfolio and other related tasks assigned, and that the position be funded through NWMO support payments in accordance with the hosting agreement.
Need a mover, please? Counselor Taddeo, will you move?
Yes.
Counselor Menier, second. All in favor?
Question.
All questions, sorry. Yeah,
There's a couple of questions. So this is not gonna cost the taxpayers not a dime?
Aaron?
Through the mayor, so the hosting agreement has a section specifically for this. Now, I don't know if council will remember that there was a bylaw late 2024 that says that whatever is in each section sort of stays in that section.
Yes.
So any of the leftover monies that are left over at the end of the year go to a reserve fund. This is just to compensate. Now, obviously, we both know that there was two people in this position previously. One retired and the other one moved on. So, given that, Jake has been undertaking a lot of this work and it's been tying him down, especially as it relates to the, community engagement committee. So, given that we are proceeding, fast with a number of opportunities, we would really want to refocus, pivot on his skill set. And in order to do that, we have to free him up. So this is just to, and last time we tried this recruitment, it was, we chose the best candidates as we saw them at the time. Some of them fell apart. Some of them, just didn't work out because, and because the nature of that job was we're only hire part-time or a contracted employee, but still expecting him to move here. Or to work remotely, which was really expensive. So I think given the nature of the position now and with everything sort of cemented, with NWMO actually coming here when this was previous to the decision, I think we might have better candidates or different candidates, or maybe the same candidates that were interested in before will re-engage us and we can see how this plays out.
Thank you. Any other questions? Councilor Menier?
I really don't have a question. I was just looking through the conclusions of this report. And it says that for the answer, I think Councilor Taddeo was looking for.
Oh.
The role is fully funded through the NWMO support.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be a burden on the tax.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All in favor of that? In favor? Councilor Taddeo?
Yes.
Thank you. 8.2.8, current surplus properties to be posted for sale.
I may recommend a slight rewording, because we need to say that we remove the moratorium. So that council for the township of Ignace removes the moratorium on residential property sales and approves that the following properties be advertised as surplus and posted for sale. 347 and 349 Tate Street, 456, 460 Berglund Street, 203, 205, 213, and 235 Wren Street, 99, 102, 104, 108, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 119, 121, 123, 135 Tapsay Street, 66 and 72 Boone Street, 97, 99, 103, 105, 107, 109, 122, 125, 127, and 129 Robinson Crescent, 306 East Street, 303, 309, and 311 Railway Street. And that dates for council to consider expressions of interest for specific properties be set by the clerk and advertised to the public. And that the advertisements direct interested parties to review the expression of interest form and guidelines with the understanding that substantial development is to occur on any sold properties within 2 years of purchase, and that this will be stipulated in the agreements of purchase and sale.
Okay. Counselor Let, seconder,
Yes,
Counselor Lanier.
I do have a question.
Oh, yeah, okay, question?
I'm just wondering, I'm not familiar with, I mean, Keith can answer this for me. Is there any stipulation in the contract for sale or purchasing of any surplus properties or municipal properties that come available, to regulate on, preventing municipal employees or council members from purchasing same? So there's no conflict? Is there something in there?
Through the mayor,
Go ahead.
it'll be at the recommendation of council and the reporting staff to identify that these people are members of council, members of staff, and it should be duly noted that they are in fact members of the staff. Now, members of staff or council aren't necessarily excluded from this process because that would be unfair. But it should be really noted that each employee or a member of council, it should be really stringent on exactly how the wording is and how it's processed. It's got to be clear and concise when it is done.
I got a question.
Hold on a sec, Counselor Tario.
I'm just more interested in actual having it written down that
Yeah.
they would
me
be in
too.
conflict because, or we would be in conflict for purchasing property because the public would have a different opinion of, let's say I wanted to buy a whole whack of these properties here at dirt cheap prices. And then all of a sudden the public saying, well, you got a line into getting these purchases. So I know in my past career, we had a conflict of interest where any property that was seized or not recovered by the owners,
You could not participate.
the employees of the Ontario government could not participate in obtaining that property. Or if, let's say, for instance, when I was working on the municipal side of policing, police cars that went up for sale after past their expiry date, municipal employees or police officers could not buy because of conflict. Because it's possible, let's say, for instance, the township selling a grader. And we decide that we're gonna sell it, and then the grader is fixed up to premium. And then somebody comes along that has a little bit of knowledge that it was done and buys it for dirt cheap. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Try to just prevent a conflict
Okay.
or breach of trust.
Leslie?
If I may
Before John, or I mean, yeah.
speak
before
to
John.
this from the treasury side and also with a real estate background, one of the things that was in place before is there was no stipulation that council or staff couldn't buy. It is, the property sales are open to the public, everybody's a citizen of council. However, in the past, as expressions of interest rolled in, then they were considered. What I'm recommending is that we set dates where this is when they will be considered. So you can see if 6 people are interested in bidding on a property. And maybe it'll get some people paying full value or even bidding over value as opposed to offering 10% of the value and trying to get a deal. Also then council members would excuse themselves from the consideration of that deal as a conflict of interest if they self-reported that. And all of those decisions are at the decision of council. Council is not forced to sell those properties. They are accepting expressions of interest for development plans written out in the expressions of interest for those properties. So you can see, citizen A wants to put a 2-bedroom house there, citizen B wants to put a 4-bedroom house there and is willing to pay $3 more for the land. Well, you're looking at the land price, it really doesn't matter, but that 4-bedroom house is going to end up generating more tax revenue. So that's the one you get to weigh the proposals against each other to see which one has more benefit to the township of Ignace long term.
Counselor Tario, yeah, and then Aaron.
Well, I got 2 questions here. First of all, are these properties going to be sold at 90% reduction or?
Yes, go ahead.
I can speak to that as well. The community improvement plan, I recommend we still keep it in place because it gives us the leeway, but there's nothing in that community improvement plan that says that properties have to be sold below value. It's just that council has the option to sell them below value.
So in the past, we sold most of that surplus land to council members and employees of the township at a 90% reduction. Um, So now you're saying that we're gonna sell them at appraised value? Is that what you're saying?
If I can speak to that as well, most of these properties, the MPAC current valuation is again out of date because they were done in 2016, but they're only at $1,000 to $1,400, which is probably less than the legal fees would be for a property transfer. So it's peanuts. People should not be bidding $100. That doesn't even cover administration costs.
yeah.
So, you know, if multiple people are interested in a property, if we hold, like, set a date to hold offers, perhaps there will be maybe not a bidding war, but people bidding full value or overvalue for those properties because of the benefit of it and the future value of those properties.
And my last question is, you just nailed it on the head there. So are we gonna ensure this time that the legal costs are covered by the purchaser instead of the township?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
Aaron,
Also too, I don't know, I think this might fix some things as well. I wasn't here. My understanding was that a lot of this stuff was done enclosed. I don't personally see the reason why it needs to be done enclosed. So I think sunlight would disinfect a lot of this. I will definitely look and speak to legal counsel about this, but I think given the nature, it's not really it is a disposition of land. But it also says at the top, you may have a council meeting, may be closed for these reasons. I don't see really these things are in place to prevent us from getting lawsuits. And I don't see that if we're selling land in this manner, you especially giving it potentially a reduced rate, that this would be something that should be enclosed. So I will speak to legal counsel and
I have a question. I actually agree with Councilor Manier. Is there something that we can add that doesn't allow any staff or council to purchase any properties?
Can I add to that, Kim?
Yeah,
So how would you, there's been in the past also, spouses that have bought property from council members, right? So how would you police?
Yes, Senator. Quick layman terms. Council has the right to renegotiate. Council has the right to refuse any offer that comes over the counter, with recommendations from the staff member applying the report. And just to let council know that certain roles within a municipality cannot purchase anything because we have way too much insight. For example, myself, the CAO, the clerk, council might not be privy to all the information that's available in the public, but there should be restrictions on what council can and cannot purchase. So that's all part of that, but a regular staff member, say a public works operator, could potentially do it with some restrictions and understanding that they are a municipal employee. But yes, there are caveats for that. And then council, of course, has all the authority to, like I mentioned earlier, to renegotiate the price, cancel the price altogether.
well, we know sometimes that from the past. I mean,
The past is the past.
yes, I agree.
We can only move
The
forward.
past, but I mean, I think if you had it in a policy or bylaw, it's there. You follow it. Leslie.
I think that one of the ways that we could keep everything in open without disclosing people's development plans, especially if we get multiple, for example, if we get 6 people submitting expressions of interest for one property,
Mhm.
people may not want that out there, just the same way that if you're bidding on real estate, you're not having your bids disclosed. if we put them in the open package with the names or any identifying information removed, and you're looking strictly at the development proposal to make your decision and the amount that's being offered for the property, and you don't know who the buyer is, then that keeps it
Yeah,
more
well, that-
fair, and then nobody in the town can say that anybody's playing favorites or discriminating against them. If it's based strictly on the proposal and the name is redacted.
yeah, that's fine, but I'm talking about council being able to buy them.
If council wishes to, well, sorry, through the mayor, if the council wish to go that route, I would just I would like to get a legal opinion of that, if we can legally prevent or prohibit people from participating. I know that the optics of that is striking, but I mean, there's also other like bylaws have to be coincide with provincial and federal laws, and if we can't have a bylaw with that's in contradiction to any of those, so.
Okay. Sure, okay, so we just need a Councilman here.
I'm sorry I opened up this can of worms with you guys. But I just want to make sure that where I sit, I feel that if there may be a conflict down the road somewhere, if somebody wants to buy this property and is in the know, let's put it that way. Nothing says that anybody can buy this property, but I would say whoever, because we had a moratorium on the properties, and now that we have to promote building of residences and accommodations for people that may or may not, or that will come to town. I would say that the property should be sold at face value, not at a fixed rate. But that's something else. I was just more, I asked a question about the conflict. I know some people will not like the idea of somebody buying property, or on the other side of the coin, somebody's hoarding, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Leslie.
this is skipping ahead to where the form is updated in the bylaw coming next.
Okay.
But that expression of interest form has been updated, so you can see not just what the bid is on the property, but also what the current assessed value or the current appraised value is. Because for the two properties that we had appraised to get a sense of it, even though the impact value, I think one was 1,000, one was 1,100. The appraised value, one's 1,300 and the other one's 2,600 because it's twice as big. So then council can use those appraised values too in looking at what's the actual value in Ignace today.
Keith.
And just to reiterate, I'd like to remind council that that staff brings these reports as is to council, and it's council's duty to review. And if they feel that the amount of the property is insufficient, to reject, renegotiate the offer, and that direct staff to go back to the applicant and say, we would like to see more, or this value. Do you accept, yes or no, and then proceed?
Okay.
The onus is on council to make that final determination.
Okay, so all in favor?
The motion is that council for the township of Ignace removes the moratorium on residential property sales and approves that the following properties be advertised as surplus and posted to sale with all the addresses I said earlier. And that dates for council to consider expressions of interest for specific properties be set by the clerk and advertised to the public. And that the advertisements direct interested parties to review the expression of interest form and guidelines with the understanding that substantial development is to occur on any sold properties within 2 years of purchase, and that this will be stipulated in the agreements of purchase and sale.
All in favor? Carried. In favor, Councillor Taddeo?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. No, notice motions and bylaws for approval.
Whereas section 271-1 of the Municipal Act 2001 2001-25 as amended requires all municipalities to adopt and maintain policies governing the sale of surplus land. This policy will include providing proper notice to the public. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Ignace hereby does enact as follows. This bylaw 08.2026 shall rescind bylaw 92.2021 and bylaw 13.2013 and any other bylaw pertaining to the sale of property owned by the Township of Ignace. That the corporate policy attached shall become part of this bylaw, and this bylaw shall come into force and take effect immediately upon approval.
Need a mover, please? Councilor Manir, seconder, will you second it? Councilor Tadio,
Yeah. I know I didn't do anything wrong.
questions? Councilor Let,
I am trying to find it, but, oh, here it is, under, publish. Published meaning published in a newspaper, that in the opinion of the clerk has general circulation. I guess we should change that to.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. A newsletter.
yeah,
It wouldn't be a newsletter,
it would be
it's
Online.
online, right?
But.
online and on the bulletin boards.
Yeah, in our.
Digital format.
Mhm.
Digital format there. But also, I guess you could put up posters, wouldn't you?
Yes, that's online and local bulletin boards.
Around town.
I think.
Councilor Manir? Councilor Tadio, do you have anything?
Good catch.
No, I'm good.
Okay, all in favor? In favor, Councilor Tadio?
Yep.
As amended, thank you. Questions from the public? Yes.
I'm not clear on what Councilor Tadio did wrong. So he explains what he freaked out about that.
Yeah, I'd like to know too.
Attack on
He-
on personal.
I've seen that done here before, so it's at a work. Matter of fact, Mr. Manir, you were guilty of it. Nobody said a word.
This is a question, sure. You don't.
Okay. Okay, I'm just saying.
Thank you. So was it, gave you your answer.
You give me the answer.
It was staff then. It was what he had said
word? I
about
don't
the staff.
understand what word or what, I just don't understand as a person
I'm sure he wrote it down.
what took place.
I can look up the bylaw if that's the case. Though it might have happened before, it still doesn't mean it should continue to happen.
Fair point, but I'm still curious on what exactly
So
created the hustle and bustle about.
disparaging of staff.
What word was disparaging, so I can,
I mean, grant recommendation. So we don't have to answer this question tonight. Can we review the recording and then get back to it?
That's fine. Yeah,
thank you.
thank you. Any other questions?
I have one question.
Yes.
Somewhat relating to the future of youth development here at Ignace and the surrounding area. Is there any current plans to help kind of mentor some of the youth of the region into some of these positions later on and kind of future proofing Ignace as a community going forward with people who really do care about the development of the community?
You're You're absolutely right, because I've always said in my interviews and that it's very important to keep the youth. So I can't say as right yet that we've worked on anything for youth, but yes, maybe you have in your groups.
Yeah, so I can speak to that if I
Okay.
may. So we do have the implementation committee, which is not a committee of council, but as you know, it's part of the hosting agreement. Now, in that hosting agreement, there are workshops or working groups, is that?
Yes.
Working groups, that one of them is education and training. Right, so right now, there's not much I can really say, but they are, so we have 4 very good people on that working group, including Confederation College, for instance, Another would be somebody who controls the levers of government down south in terms of funding and financing, programs. And then because of the great opportunity here in town, there's some members of NWMO that sit on that group too. So they'll know exactly who and what they'll need in the future. So they're going to work through essentially a framework to figure out exactly not only just for NWMO, but for the secondary and tertiary economic impacts that are going to happen here in town. So they're going to figure out exactly what is needed and then figure out how to bring about the education and training for those jobs. Also, as part of our hosting agreement, we do have a youth training and education fund or funding stream. We did have which you had an opportunity to participate and spoke to about. So I think moving forward, it might be a good opportunity to figure out exactly how we should spend that money rather than ad hoc-ally, if that's a word.
Yeah.
Spending it as we do. I think maybe we'll figure out maybe an ad hoc committee, including with students, to figure out how to structure and plan on how best to use that money because it is there. So maybe that's something that we could proceed with.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question.
Sounds good. Yep. Any other questions? Yes.
The money that you talked about, that you and John mentioned that you were given when you went to that meeting that you talked about?
Yes.
The money was for?
So that's for the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay, so does that, by getting that money, does that mean that the burden will be taken off the taxpayers, or will that impact our taxes de-impact our taxes at all?
Oh, go ahead.
I can answer that from the treasury side. That proposal was to cover 73% of the cost of the project. So the town is responsible for covering the other 27%. One of the things that we do have open to us through the hosting agreement, there's $10 million specifically for infrastructure projects, but we have to essentially put in a business case request to NWMO to cover that. So if NWMO agrees that we can pull the other part of the money that we need from that $10 million fund, then that would not need to come out of the tax dollars. We would pull it from that other.
So when would they anticipate that?
Excuse me?
Hold on a sec.
I just wondered when would that anticipate, starting this year or on into the future, any kind of an idea of when that will get underway?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I also wanted, yeah, we're working, sorry, I just wanted to leap off. So we're working on making sure that no additional charges were in relation to this project. We're still working out the budget. So we've been sort of sitting on this for a while because there's, the announcement and everything else. This is one of the next big tasks. Of course, there's other things that, that pop in. But right now, probably this week, I'll start with the actual tender, the procurement of this. Hopefully tender by next month to secure engineering consulting firms and it's for dechlorinization of the plant. So right now we chlorinate and then dechlorinate, which doesn't make it efficient.
Dewatering.
And dewatering. So right now we take 90% water, ship it to our landfill when we could actually remove that water, process it again, get it to a clean state, and then put it back in the environment. So those are the two major projects that got it. But the third most interesting one for me is we're actually putting a plan together to actually bring that whole facility to a life cycle that's renewed, because right now it's at the end of its useful life. So once that report comes in, they'll proceed with the construction, and that will give us sort of an idea on how to proceed with renewing that plant while it's still operating in the same location. Yeah.
Councillor Taddeo, did you have something to comment about?
Yeah, I just wanted to I know the lady that asked for the clarification on spending that money. There's, actually, you stated on the Thunder Bay News the other day that there won't be a tax increase with the Township of Ignace.
No, I don't want a tax increase. But I also told them that we are trying to find the money in other places.
Well, I think even the minister said there wouldn't be a tax increase.
And I did hear him say that, yeah.
I want to clarify that if I can.
Yeah,
He said in relation to this job, this project proceeding.
yeah.
He clarified it was no tax increase at all forever.
No,
It's just specifically for like, we're proceeding with this job and we're gonna increase taxes as a result of this job.
not because of this
Yeah.
job. But and that's what I said. No, I don't want to have tax increases.
No,
for this.
yeah,
And Leslie explained that we had that $10 million there.
for
We should be able to
infrastructure,
take- Exactly.
for
We should be able to
infrastructure,
take the rest
Yeah.
from that.
for infrastructure,
Yes.
So this funding, the taxes that are being, or the money that, the 73% and the 27% or whatever it is. That is just for that new area, right? Is that just?
No.
What is it for?
No.
The rural community?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there was a
What-
a discussion about increasing taxes in wastewater. So that would be.
For that, no. Go ahead and explain.
Well, do you want to explain what, how we're gonna come up with how to spend that money, or do you want me to?
Yeah.
So there's $10 million there. It's not indexed. Meaning, the longer we wait to capture that money, the less purchasing power we have with that money because of inflation, blah, 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 right? So we're looking at, finding ways in which we can, use that money to upgrade our infrastructure. We're gonna come together with a list of things that we anticipate is gonna be needed in the community. That could be the arena, that could be the wastewater treatment plant. I know, we need a new fire station quite badly. There are some, upgrades to infrastructure, as you know, freezing lines. So there is a lot of things that we need to do, and we obviously, the best method and what we've been trying to do so far is to leverage this monies to get the province, because quite often with the province, if they're gonna give you funding streams, you have to have the money in order to get money from them. So if we can say, hey, we got this money, do you want to pay 73% of our upgrades, or do you want to pay nearly 90% of our upgrades to our arena? So that's how we've been trying to do it. But given the nature of this $10 million that's not indexed, the faster we can get that money and spend it, the better, because eventually, you rather than getting 5 projects with that $10 million, you wait 5 years, you might only get 1.
Yes. Can I get Aaron to speak to what are the automatic increases that we have to impose to water sewer rates?
Okay. Well, I'll go nerdy, like asset management nerdy on this.
We're not getting.
No.
So I'll take, another hour?
No.
An hour and a half?
I thought this was question for the public.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
should be done.
Yeah.
I would like
Okay.
to, I mean, if we want to get it, I can same question from the public.
Can I just ask Dana then, did Aaron answer your question?
Partially, but that, you're.
Right, so we're asking the taxpayers or telling the taxpayers that by government regulation, we have to put in so much into reserve,
Yes,
right?
yes,
It's a mandatory thing, and we don't have a choice,
yes. Well,
so there will
Not
be
with
a
water.
tax increase.
so, I mean, a lot of municipalities do that, but
Right.
it is like, how many municipalities? 600?
444.
So there's 444 Titanics all racing towards the same iceberg. Right? Hardly any of them are putting sufficient money away for the reserves. And essentially what a reserve is it like an investment or an RRSP, right? You put so much money away, and at some point in the future, you're going to have enough money for In this case, it's repairs to a plant or repairs to a, so you have all these funding streams, all these things, you have one for even your loader. So you have put so much money around in you anticipate how much you're gonna use that loader, so in 6 years, that money's already there, rather than scrambling to get that money. Or was it borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, right? So this is actually a regulation in Ontario Reg for asset management that proper reserves be put in place. Because eventually they're gonna say, well, we gave you the money to undertake these reports. We brought you through this process to develop it, right? So all of a sudden, this report says you have $4 billion you owe because of your reserve deficit. They're gonna just say, well, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. We brought you the horse to the water, you're just not drinking it. So eventually, I suspect they're gonna cut off funding to make those repairs. So it's actually a requirement by law, and then we just had a report come to council that we have a massive deficit as a result of not putting proper contributions into. Now, we try to mitigate that as best as we can to get us on the right track, understanding that we can't go from from A to Z in one day. But there has to be, and here's the issue. That iceberg, whether it's 200 meters or a kilometer, eventually it's going to be our children, well, not my children, but your children that are going to have to future generations are going to be burdened by essentially we're borrowing from the future. Like, for instance, the landfill, I use that. Eventually they're going to have to pay for a landfill closure that costs hundreds of millions of dollars for not only closing it, but opening a new one for a landfill they didn't even contribute to, right? So it's important that we, and we're trying to we're trying to get a user-based model that we're trying to assess the exact cost to use the landfill, the piping, all the infrastructure. That way, that burden doesn't get put on future generations, if that makes sense.
Okay, I think Leslie has one further thing and then we'll be finished.
Just to let the public know that council's hosting a town hall meeting on Monday, March 23rd. So everybody's invited. If you'd like to submit questions beforehand, if it's something that requires more research or background information, please feel free to email them to clerk@ignace.ca, or you can ask questions live.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. How soon before option 2 is developed? The negotiated contract for the library?
To start that, right?
Yes, because we don't have a budget yet either, so.
But we have a budget, it was submitted in November, but we don't have a budget.
Well, not to reflect this.
Thank you.
Just to clarify that too, so part of our, I don't remember what the name of it is, but we have up to 40% of last year's budget approved. That would include your budget. I don't think there's going to be any gaps in services as a result of that until we can get this figured out.
Yeah, well, let me know.
Thank you. Okay, closed session. 12.1.
That the council for the corporation of the township of Big Mace will meet into the closed meeting of this regular meeting of council this 23rd of February 2026 at 8:03 p.m. to discuss the following closed session matters pursuant to section 239 2B and E, personal matters or an identified
Thank you, everyone.
individual, including municipal or local board employees, a property matter, and E, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board.
Need to move her, please? All in favor, thanks, in favor of moving in camera, Councillor Taddeo?
Yep.
Thank you.
Take 5 minutes.